Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that I recorded a damn near flawless run with Mr. Loki? You'd probably say, Godzillanator, you're damn crazy, fool. Well, I assure you that it is near perfect. At least it felt like it was. Honestly, I haven't went back and watched it, but it felt so right. And it didn't take me long to actually get it. Well, okay, funny story is I had similar runs, right? Like up to the second roar, I had a crazy amount of points, and then for some reason my fingers, they just like the communication was off between my brain and my fingers, and I would miss the fifth skill. And it happened multiple times. I was getting so mad. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? I thought the game was just trolling me. But, yeah, I think I just wasn't hitting it. I don't know, for some reason, it's just sometimes going from the 3 to the 6, 5, 4, I missed the fifth skill. And that's like the, you know, I guess they're all pretty important. But, you know, if you miss the 4, you can kind of try to hit it quickly after to you know, get the proc. So yeah, the fifth skill is pretty important. But in any case, yeah, I got this run recorded. I've already made a Loki ABX video, but it was in silent season, and I kind of made a boo-boo, right? I made an error thinking you had to cancel with his 6 with this uniform, but you don't. You cancel with his 4, and he has paralysis on his 5th and his 2, and we're gonna be silencing the canceling the roar with the 5. There's certain cases where, okay, here's the thing. You don't necessarily need this to happen, but you want roars to be delayed. So if your account isn't, you know, super strong, if you don't have, like, you know, a maxed out account, 25% pierce, 150, you know, energy attack on cards, so on and so forth, and you want to score the highest you possibly can, I'm going to show you in this run. I think things lined up absolutely perfect in this run here, so you can kind of get an idea of what needs to happen in order for you to score the highest you did. And I scored over 12.4 million. So, you know, as we all know, the points after 7, and then even, you know, after 12 million, they're hard gained. So you know, you should have a bit of flexibility, you know, following what I'm doing, and just, yeah, like I said, keeping an eye out for these things, and I'll point them out during the run. You basically want your run to look just like this. And yeah, I'm running with the presidential uniform because I have a brilliant energy on Mr. Loki here. But with the TVA, I have to imagine that it's gonna look very similar as well. At the very least, you want these things to happen during the run. Let me show you what I got going on here. This man has 66,000 energy attack. I mean, everything's maxed out here. And yeah, he's got the brilliant energy. He's got 16 Odin's blessings, fully awakened overdrive. I did swap it from Hawk's Eye. Every time I do a video, I'm like, oh man, he's got the Hawk's Eye still. I still haven't switched it. And then yeah, the uniform is mythic, and then all the options are mythic except this one here. This one is my least favorite. I don't know why they keep, you know, having this as a reoccurring option. It doesn't really matter though. It's the middle one, and it's set to HP. So but oh, and by the way, I figured out a way to actually remove the lag from the videos that I play. Also, if you're interested in a little behind the scenes going on with Godzillanator and some of the things going on in his life, also maybe even some investing tips, some money making tips for you depending on your station in life, stay tuned to the very end, because I have some things to mention and announce. All right, let me pull this up here, and we'll be back. All right, here we go. Oh, and by the way, so for my very next video, I'm going to try to record it right now, as a matter of fact. It's going to be talking all about timeline. Well, Shang-Chi, I have a brilliant authority on him, and we're going to be showcasing that. Also, some timeline dynamics in tips, and some things that, you know, could help you, you know, just get more wins, and just to give you a better idea of kind of what's going on and some things that have kind of shifted and changed. All right, let me play this track here. Boom. See, no lag. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, rotation, I do, you know, 3, 5, 4. You don't necessarily need to use the 2. Come on, man, don't lag on me now. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so important thing, you want to basically, you try to want to stay in the center of the map, and you want the mobs to gather around. You do more, you get more points, more damage when there's more mobs. It's just as simple as that. Yeah, I know the top of the screen's a little cut off there, but it's fine. You can still see it. So yeah, just try to stay in the center of the map as best as you possibly can. It's probably even a lot easier to do if you have a rage, right? I'm constantly trying to charge up the beatdown, so I have to move around. It's kind of annoying. And right here, so I don't charge it up there because I just didn't want to move, and I want okay, you want the first roar to be delayed. You see, I have over 7 million points by the 2-minute mark. If you don't get the roar delay, you lose a lot of points, guys. You lose a lot of points, and I feel like if I just stay in the same spot, I don't know, it could be in my head, but by staying in the center, it seems like you get the roar delay. That's why I didn't move. And bada bing, bada boom, we're looking good. It is looking real good. We're at 8 million points by 1:55. That's pretty bananas. Yeah, and I swear, every run like this, I wouldn't hit the 5th skill. Like, it would be like right about now, and during this rotation, I wouldn't hit the 5th. So yeah, I wait for the beast to jump back to the center there, and I just want to stay in the center. You don't want to go chasing the beast around. That's a thing you don't want to do. So you see, I'm staying in the center there, and trying to catch him before he jumps. He does his attack here. I think he jumps, so I just want to wait for him to jump back, and then bada bing, bada boom. And you also want this roar to be delayed as well. So I think he either goes into it right about 117 or 113 right about now. And yeah, I missed the beatdown again. So there's some things on my end that, like, so I didn't do the 2-1 after. So right here is another situation where you kind of want to, ideally, I think you want to attack like while he does his first jump. Like it's like right after he jumps, you can attack, and it kind of stalls them, and you stall them right in all the mobs, right? Which is a thing you want to do. And look at this, almost 11 million. I still have a tier 3 rotation, and this is another situation, right? You want all roars delayed. So you see, all my roars are delayed. Like, I could show you a run where the roars aren't delayed, and I'll tell you what, I don't have nearly as much points. It's amazing the difference in points by not having delayed roars. So we're already at 1160. So right here is, again, I could have like attacked maybe a little bit sooner, you know, had I been, you know, situated a little bit different. But we're already over 12 with another rotation left here. Boom. Honestly, I probably could have got the mobs in a better situation to wait to attack there, just to get a little more points. But it didn't even really matter, right? And there's my damn near perfect run with Mr. Loki. Yeah, there were a couple things that could have, you know, been shaped up a little bit differently, just to improve it just a little bit. But you know, obviously I didn't need to really do anything differently. 12.4 is more than sufficient, especially on today, because you have less buffs on today. So you know, assuming that I got that same run with She-Hulk and Valkyrie, it would have been over 13 million, I would imagine. But there it is. So yeah, the most important things is delaying each roar. You want all 3 roars to be delayed. And if you're like really trying to maximize your score and you're really hard after it, if you don't get the roar delay, restart the match, restart the run, and just do it all over again. Okay, so a couple things here. So I'm getting near again. I think 100 cards. Plus we have the card chest. Oh god, look at all these. I gotta upgrade all my cards here. Plus we have the card chest in the store. So I think I'm gonna do something like that, where you know, I do the video every once in a while. I get 100 cards, and then, you know, we do this chest here. It seems like every time I have about 100 cards, this chest comes in the store, and it's like, buy me, buy me. So we might grab those. Also, I want to know who is playing the timeline survival here, and is it worthwhile to you? Like, I don't know, I feel like it kind of is, it kind of isn't. The worst thing is when you you just got your tokens refreshed and you're right next to one of the question mark spaces. You go on it and it takes away all your tokens. Like, why even have that? You're not promoting people to play the game. You're just kind of pissing people off. Is really all you're doing. I will say though, I have gotten some awakened materials out of here. Not a whole lot, a little bit, like maybe 70 awakening crystals. So I guess that's kind of useful. It doesn't take much time to play. But you know what? I feel like so I was thinking about like doing like a just kind of tutorial on it, but I don't know. I don't think it's really necessary. I think it's pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. Nobody really needs any tips or advice on how to do it. If you do, I don't know, leave a comment and we'll see what we can do at that point. All right, so I mentioned that I have some kind of, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'm just going to breeze through a couple things that are kind of going on in behind the scenes in Godzillanator's life, and then some investing, some tips to for you to possibly make money, as I mentioned, depending on what station you are in life. So I'll actually bring this up first. So now my wife, she actually has some experience in this field to an extent. And let me know if anybody has any knowledge, because I'm actually just starting to do my research and figure this thing out. Is selling on Amazon. So from what I understand, this is something that people have been doing for a little while now, and they say, right, Amazon is killing small business, but it's actually quite the opposite. It's kept small businesses alive for the most part, a lot of them, right, especially during the pandemic. Because anybody can just sell on Amazon, and there's a formula, there's a system that you want to follow that could basically really improve your chances and create some large returns. Like, some people are making 40 grand a month selling squeaky dog toys, and all they've done was they followed a formula just to really how to pick certain products, and it could be really anything. And from what it looks like, the simpler the product is, the better the better it's going to be. Things they take batteries or plug it in the wall. You're kind of asking for trouble there. But here's the thing. So as I mentioned, depending on your station in life, you're going to need a bit of money to invest. Not a whole lot. So from what I understand, like the least amount you would want to try to get in this with is 2 to 3 grand, but I think like 5 to 10 grand is a much more comfortable place to be in. And I'm just starting to dig into this. My wife, she's been looking into this a bit more heavily than I have, and she has some experience with just some of the different working parts with being in contact with different manufacturers. So I'm not going to get too deep into the nuance of how all this works. If this is something that you're interested in, you can look into it yourself. I'm just trying to give you guys a little behind the scenes of what's going on in Godzillanator's life. But yeah, you're gonna need, I'd say 5 to 10 grand. My wife and I, we have a bit of cash, kind of kicking around, and we've been looking for places to invest it. Real estate has been something that we've kind of been easing into, and which will bring me to one of my next points. But I think this is something that we're really going to go full speed. And what I'll do is I'll give you guys some updates down the road, because the thing it's don't be fooled, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's something that you really won't start seeing money for quite some time, 4 to 6 months down the road. But once you get it situated, it seems like it's something that kind of runs itself to an extent. If you know how, right, Amazon, you bought anything on Amazon, right, there's a listing, and once a listing, right, it kind of gains enough traction. It gets, has the reviews, and it's something that kind of gets recommended. It's something that just, it's like any business, right? And that's basically what it is. You got to kind of treat it like a business. And as I mentioned, my next point, real estate. So Godzillanator is, another place that we want to invest in is real estate. It's one of the best things you can actually invest in, you know, if you actually know what you're doing. So I got my real estate license probably like a year and a half ago now. I know some brokers, and I'm starting to sell real estate. Yes, I got my social media pages, you know, situated, and maybe in one of the next videos I'll put a link to my personal social media pages, and if you guys want to help me out, you can go and like my page, right? Because right, social media, brand awareness, and having people like your page, it's like everything, right? And that could totally help me out. All right, so something else Godzillanator's been working on. Let me get the photos situated. Alrighty, so honestly, I feel like I could talk about this stuff all day, but I don't want to make the video crazy long, so I'm trying to just breeze through this stuff here. Okay, so a hidden talent of yours truly is I'm quite the craftsman, quite the builder. I make things with my hands, and there's a sense of satisfaction you get with it. I actually have a really nice shop, a woodworking shop, and I haven't been actually recently I haven't been using it all that much, but so this, I'm going to be building this right here. So it's like a mid-century modern, a lot of negative space going on. And what I need is, so as I mentioned, right, there's, you know, you buy, you know, stuff like this. A lot of times it's not like real wood. I think this is actually real wood. I think this actually has a veneer over, I read it was like eucalyptus wood. I'm honestly not even sure what that is. And it has some type of veneer on it. But, you know, you build something, you know, I know when I build something, it's something that's gonna last pretty much a lifetime, and I need some modifications to this. So actually I need two center sections here, right? You see the desk space, I need two of those, kind of like a his and hers, right? For new endeavors, and just, you know, sometimes you need to change, right? You need a new space, you need to be organized, and this is something that I feel like will totally fit the bill, especially with the two center desk spaces there. And it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be so some of the measurements are modified a little bit as well, and I'll show you some of the raw materials here. So making this out of cherry, as a matter of fact, which honestly wasn't my first. Yeah, so I'm gonna turn all this here into turning this into that. I made a post earlier on Facebook and Instagram, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so cherry wasn't my first pick. Typically I like building with walnut, but walnut would have been just a little too dark for the space. And as a matter of fact, so my bed frame and the headboard is just a giant slab of live edge cherry, and so it'll match that. I would have preferred white oak even, but they didn't. The selection of white oak wasn't that great, and it's crazy expensive right now. If anybody is in, you know, any type of field that you use building materials, especially in the U.S., the inflation is pretty bananas. I think it's starting to come down a little bit now, starting to trickle down a little bit, but yeah, you could be paying 2 to 3 times as much for the same thing, say pre-COVID. It is pretty bananas. And what I'll do is, you know, I'll try to keep you guys updated on this stuff. I'm thinking because I got a lot of stuff going on right now, so the frequency of videos might drop a little bit. I'm gonna do my best to keep things, you know, pretty consistent, but you know, maybe thinking about doing some different things on the channel here. I don't know. I feel like a lot of you guys might not be into, you know, stuff like that. Maybe I do a new separate channel for that. I don't even know if I'll have the time for it, but you know, it's a thought. But I got more stuff and do the Shang-Chi PvP video. So if you want to check that out, you better stay tuned. You stay breezy out there, but most of all, friend, you stay safe now. And Godzillanator will keep you updated. You know, I'll show you like the finished pictures, you know, in the space that it's going in. I'll show you guys that stuff also on the other endeavors as well. But I'll catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.